I've made a lot of land sharks, and I always try to give them some sort of personality or gimmick. Some are gentle giants, some are tiny and vicious, and some are just kind of wimpy and awkward. But this one is probably the most dangerous land shark I've made so far. It's based on the Mako shark, the fastest shark species in the world. Makos are interesting compared to most sharks because they're basically built like homing missiles. Everything about them is designed for explosive bursts of speed. A pointed snout, a streamlined torpedo-like body, a crescent tail that slashes through the water, and even bigger gills so they can take in more oxygen to sustain their muscles when hunting. They're not ambush predators, they're chasers. They regularly hunt speedy prey like tuna and swordfish, some of the fastest fish in the world. They swim so fast that it's common for them to launch themselves out of the water to chase their prey, farther than any other shark species that we know of. You can see this adaptation in their teeth. Instead of being serrated, they're narrow and needle-like, built for gripping and pulling during a chase rather than tearing. Probably a necessity when most of your favorite foods are extremely evasive. Their teeth also stick out a little when their mouth is closed, which is how a lot of fishermen identify them. But it kinda gives them this perpetual, devious looking grin. And they hunt almost entirely by vision, giving them these huge pitch black eyes that allow them to see better in deep dark waters. They also have the highest brain to body ratio of any shark species, meaning they're not just fast, they're actually pretty smart too. So what you get is a shark that is swift, intelligent, and deadly, with the habit of just lunging towards whatever it notices at full speed, which is probably why they have the reputation of being more aggressive compared to most sharks. Not because they're inherently bloodthirsty, but because they're just built to instantly chase whatever they notice. So, with all that in mind, here's what I came up with. I normally take inspiration from land animals when designing the legs for my land sharks. Most of them have these stubby lizard-like legs that I base off of the original Jeff the Land Shark. But in my last one, I based my whale land shark's legs on sauropods since it makes the most sense as to how something so massive can even carry itself. So, if this thing's specialty is speed, my first choice would be to base this thing off of a cheetah. They're literally the fastest land animal, and it does make sense, but I didn't exactly love the idea of just giving them 4 long, slender legs. Cheetahs are fast because they have flexible spines that allow them to swing their limbs further to increase stride length. But I feel like if a shark did that, it would get scoliosis and would be constantly wiggling awkwardly. And I really did not want to give it a snatched waist either, since I prefer to maintain the general shark shape in these land versions. So I had another idea. What if I based them on dromaeosaurs? I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but they're also known as raptors. They have 2 powerful hind legs with a stiff tail that allows them to sprint and leap, but with 2 little arms that fold inward when running, essentially turning them into a mouth with legs sprinting at its victim's full speed. That's not really a raptor thing, but I just thought it'd be cool. This would set them apart from the other land sharks as their design is entirely focused on agility. I feel like it fits perfectly. Not only are raptors known for being quick, they also have a high brain to body ratio. I imagine the Mako land sharks behaving kind of like the velociraptors we see in movies. Curious and intelligent while being kind of feisty and unpredictable, probably having a lot of energy. Maybe even a little twitchy, constantly waiting for the opportunity to chase literally anything, whether it's a squirrel, deer, or a bird. I also love the idea that with their big brains, these would have the most potential to be trained, almost like hunting dogs, coordinating in packs to track and chase down pretty much anything. As you can tell, I probably took a little too much inspiration from the raptors from Jurassic World. One of my favorite games is Ark Survival, so the idea of humans working with dinos and creatures always sounded so cool to me. Oh my god, I'm just now realizing I totally should have drawn one with a collar and antenna. But whatever, maybe I'll add one another time. I basically made a shark raptor, and I am so proud. I feel like I say this about every land shark I make, but this is genuinely one of my favorites so far. Every land shark I add to this collection expands this weird little world in a different direction, and this one proved that their body plans can look like literally anything. I freaking fused a shark with a dinosaur. Twice. And I could not be more okay with that. As always, this was painted with my Ohuhu acrylic markers and Languo gel pens, but this time I actually tried something new and added colored pencils on top to shade and highlight. It was kind of a challenge trying to blend them over the acrylic markers without completely disintegrating the paint and paper, but I really like the texture it adds. It gives my illustrations this subtle dimension they don't normally have. I'm still not sure if I want to keep doing it though, so let me know in the comments. Should I stick to solid colors or keep experimenting with the colored pencils? And I do want to say, I know I've been very slow with posting lately. I was on vacation, had a birthday, and immediately moved houses right after. It was just me and my partner packing and moving everything, including all of our animals, so things have been very hectic. But I am packed enough to draw again, and honestly, taking a break from making content left me feeling really recharged and motivated to get back to it. But I want you guys to know I have literally saved every single creature, animal, and shark suggestion you've ever left me, and I definitely plan on keeping all of these series going for as long as I can. And if you want to have a say in what I draw next, I actually rotate through all of my series in a specific order. Next is an animal study, then a mythical creature study, then an original creature design, and then a cryptid study, before we circle back to land sharks, and then the rotation restarts. I run polls for all of them except for the original creature designs, since that series is purely for me to be creative and make something weird with no rules. But if you want to be a part of that, subscribe and keep an eye out for the polls when they go up. I tried to aim for Mondays, but as you can probably tell, life sometimes gets in the way. The animal study poll has already been run, so that one is coming up. So to my subscribers, thank you seriously for being patient with me and for watching me make these weird doodles. But that's pretty much it. This is my design for the Mako landshark, a bipedal sausage with teeth that can learn tricks. And of course, let me know what you think of this one and which landshark I should do next.